Let's now talk about Azure Active Directory groups. In Azure Active Directory, you can create two different types of groups: security groups and Office 365 groups. Let's take a look at them one by one. If you would like to create a group account, I'll click on Groups and then click on New Group. You'll land up in a screen that looks like this. So you got two options, a security group and O365 group. The security group is the most common type that is used to manage members, give access to shared resources for a group of users. So by doing it this way, you are granting a set of permissions to the members of that group. So instead of granting permissions user by user, you can grant a permission to this particular security group. The next option is Office 365 group type. In your enterprise, if you got SharePoints, files, calendars, and shared mailboxes, and you would like to provide collaboration opportunities by giving members access to these resources that I just said, then you will use Office 365 groups. This option will let you give people outside of your organization access to the group as well. Both of these groups, security and Office 365, can be managed by admins only. Alright, so I'll select a security group for now, type a group name, call it as, let's say, OneDrive Access or something, and then I'll leave the group description as same. Now this is a drop down menu which is grayed out for me because of the kind of subscription I have. But if I have an advanced subscription, I will be able to allow to choose between direct assignment, group assignment, and rule-based assignment. Let's talk about them. A direct assignment is where you assign a user the required access rights by directly assigning a role that has those access rights. Whereas a group assignment is where instead of adding a user, you will be adding a group with the required access rights, and the members of the group will inherit those rights. The last one is very interesting, which is rule-based assignment. Here, the users are added automatically to the group depending on certain validation. There are certain rules to determine a group membership based on users' properties or device properties. So for a user account or a device group membership to be valid, the user or device must meet the rules. Let's talk about this with an example. Let's say the user has an attribute called as manager. We are saying that the user can be part of this group only if the manager is, let's say, Mark. So if the manager is Mark, that's when user becomes a part of this group. Okay, so this is a simple rule which we are using for this demonstration purposes. So we got direct assignment, group assignment, rule-based assignment. Direct assignment is where users are added directly to the group. Group is where you are adding a group to this group, and the members of those group will be inheriting permissions. And the last one is rule-based assignment, where we need to have some kind of a validation to become part of this group. Next is the owner section, where I can have one or more owner as part of this group, and they will be able to manage this group. So if you would like to remove a member from the group, they do not have to contact the help desk or even the administrator. They can do it themselves because they are now owners. And finally, members is where I can add or remove members from this group. Just for demonstration purposes, let me add Alex to this group. So I'll select Alex here. Alright, so Alex is part of the OneDrive Access group. Okay. Alright, it's ready. So OneDrive Access, and who are the members of this group? Well, just Alex at this time. Alright, in corporate environments, always follow group naming convention, right? You need to have some kind of a naming standards. A group naming convention will help you sort and search your tenant groups. There are a few things that I want to specify when we're talking about groups is the settings section. So if you get into the general section here, there are a lot of options to toggle with, right? So there's self-service group management, whether you would like to have this group being self-serviced and self-managed by the group owners, yes or no. Restrict access to groups in the access panel, yes or no. That means when people go to myapps.microsoft.com, on the top right hand side they will see something like group access, right? do you want this group to be seen by the users is what this option determines. Can the users create security groups themselves? Can the owners who assign members as group owners in the Azure portals, can they do it or not? If yes, you can then go ahead and select a particular owner here. Okay, so I'll select none. Now that was about security groups. Now we have certain controls on Office 365 groups as well. You got the same options as you have for the security groups. All right. Then would the groups expire is controlled by expiration, right? So when users can set up their own groups, there will definitely be unused groups and it will multiply over a period of time. So one way to manage those unused groups is to set those groups to expire, and this will reduce the maintenance of manually deleting groups. Expiration policy is simple. Groups with user activities are automatically renewed as expiration nears. That's one part. Another part is group owners also get notified to renew an expiring group. Then a group that is not renewed is deleted. One best part here as part of disaster recovery is that a deleted Office 365 group can be restored within 30 days by the group owner or by an Azure Active Directory administrator. Okay, so that was about expiration. Going to the naming conventions or the naming policy, you can have certain groups blocked and you can define the group naming policy as well. So when somebody creates a group as part of self-service provisioning, they should be following certain prefixes. You can go ahead and select those prefixes and suffixes here to enforce your naming convention and naming policy. And then we just spoke about blocked words where you would not like anybody in your organization to use certain string or certain part of the word in their group name. One thing to keep in mind is that when a new Office 365 group is created, whether it is dynamic or static membership, a welcome notification is sent to all users who are added to the group. When any attribute of a user or the device changes, all dynamic group rules in the organization are processed for potential membership changes. Users who are added then also receive the welcome notification. You can turn this behavior off as well. Alright, that was about groups. So here we learned about how do you create a group, how you can add members to the group, and how you can control the unlimited spanning of the groups because of the self-service provisioning option that we have now. There's an expiration option so that the groups can automatically be cleaned up if they are unused, and then the naming policy where you can enforce the naming convention in your enterprise.